Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. So in this video we'll be discussing about this Current Affairs Workbook by Vision IAS. So we'll be dealing with the monthly compilation of July 2025, and this workbook is different from general monthly compilation magazine that is available in the market. Why? Because this workbook has a different approach to the monthly current affairs. See, for example, we have this comprehensive summary of the topics that are covered in this July month. From that magazine itself, it is covered comprehensively, and after that, at the end, we were given this quick facts, true or false is given, MCQs are given, mains questions are given, ethics case studies are given, and also progress tracking table is also given, like this several evaluation that you can do based on your progress. This is the workbook initiation by Vision IAS, and I personally like this one better than monthly magazine. Okay, because this is really crisp. So in this video we'll be dealing with this July 2025 current affairs compilation, which right now we'll focus more only on polity part. In the next video we'll discuss international relations, and like that we'll try to complete entire July current affairs. Okay, these are the contents that we have here. So digital colonialism is one, online content regulation, national cooperative policy 2025, PRI Finances, interstate water disputes, cost of politics in India, lowering of age for voting, and news in shorts. Here some other small topics are covered in news in short. Let's delve into the first topic, that is this digital colonialism. Yes, why is it in news? You see why? Because former Indian Vice President, he just warned about this digital colonialism, and he calls it as dependence on foreign digital infrastructure, the prime threat to sovereignty, not just invasion. Okay, like for example, you see our over dependence on digital infrastructure that is coming from foreign land, it is a prime threat for sovereignty, that is mentioned by this vice president, former vice president. And why should know about digital colonialism? What is this digital colonialism? It refers to dominance of global big tech firms that extract and monopolize users' data, often without consent. You see, that is this digital colonialism. Just how imperial colonialism used to happen with the Britishers going to each and other countries, and extracting their own resources to their country, right? So in that similar way we have this digital colonialism. And what are the key enablers of digital colonialism? You see, whenever you come across these kind of topics, these kind of subheadings, you just do not read this right away. You try it on your own. What could be the key enabler of digital colonialism? And from that you try to get more and more points that will be helpful for your mains answer writing. Okay, see, what are the key enablers of digital colonialism? First one is profit motive only. From that profit motive, some other aspects will come out, right? For example, if a company, for example Facebook is there, Facebook is from USA, but it has got its footprint on almost every country in this world, and they are doing this digital colonialism. And what is that motive there? Profit motive is there. That is a key enabler of this digital colonialism. From that profit motive, what can be done? Economic gains can be done, tech advancements can be done, geopolitical gains can be there, data is the new oil. These are the topics that I have come up without reading these things. And after I compared that with what actually given in this answer, both almost coincides. That is how you just have to brainstorm and come up with your own points. Okay, see, economic gains, you easily understandable. Tech advancements will be there, because more and more private sector involvement will bring out the technological advancements. And geopolitical gains, as you can see in this Cambridge Analytica scandal, US presidential elections were influenced by the data taken from Facebook, right? So that is this geopolitical gains can be taken, like it can go like more and more examples can be taken from there. And data is the new oil, so that can be another key enabler for digital colonialism. Now let us go and see what actually they have given. Heightened economic gains, that is the first point we have seen. Competitive edge improves prediction of behaviors. Competitive edge, that is also profit motive. And advances of artificial intelligence, obviously that is tech advancement, fuels AI with big data for higher productivity. If for example, if let's just take this Meta company itself, that Meta company is from USA, but it has got its more user bases in India, right? Like we've got 900 million internet users, so more and more data can be mined from India, right? So that helps in gathering this big data. And exchange value of data, for with all the data that they have collected, what they'll do, they use it to uh, manage their marketing, use that to their advantage, like that. Okay, and what are the key pillars of dominance characterizing digital colonialism? Now let us see here. Key pillars of dominance characterizing digital colonialism. What are the key characteristics? Economic domination, imperial control, surveillance capitalism, tech hegemony, cultural imperialism, and benevolent masking. Let us see one by one. It's very easy to understand. Economic domination. You see, we've got this monopolistic techs, right? Tech giants like Google, Microsoft, and Facebook. All these economic domination is there. That is a key pillar of dominance characterizing the digital colonialism. What else will characterize it? Imperial control. For example, restrictive licensing. App Store policies exercises unilateral decisions over apps. If I upload an app in the App Store, it is their sole authority to keep the app or to take that app off that Play Store, right? So that is this restrictive licensing. That is nothing but this imperial control. That is one of the key pillars of dominance characterizing digital colonialism. Now I think you got the gist of it. And the other one is surveillance capitalism. After having so much of data, they can have this surveillance, right? Like how the people are behaving, how the ads can be targeted, all these things. Here also they have given this Cambridge Analytica as an example. And the other one is tech hegemony, cloud monopolies. See, Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, all these have this cloud monopolies. In that cloud we have put our data itself, right? That tech hegemony they are trying to mention here. Cultural imperialism, algorithms reinforce dominant values. They might portray that Western ideologies are only better in your Instagram feed or any other feed, YouTube shorts feed, something like that. That is this cultural imperialism. And the next one is benevolent masking. As such, you see the big tech presenting profit driven projects as philanthropy. You see, the best example is Free Basics by Facebook. Back in the time, Facebook rolled out this Free Basics, right? If you know about this project, you would understand what they are trying to say here. In the disguise of this philanthropy, they are trying to gain some profits. Yeah. And the key issues with digital colonialism. What can be the key issues with the digital colonialism? So this, without reading this, you can come up with the your own data points here. Let us see here, rising north-south disparity. As most tech giants belongs to north, okay, that is disparity will be there. National security is one concern, privacy and digital rights is another thing. Okay, it's risk privacy breaches and surveillance. In June itself, June 2025 itself, there was about a breach of so many passwords that have been put up in the market, right? So that is one privacy risk is there. Existential threat to local businesses. See, global dominance in ads, retail, and services undercuts local enterprises. That's one issue. Economic losses will be there because these tech giants like Google and everyone, what they'll do, they take out the profits from India and they put it in the tax havens, right? Where tax is very less. In that countries, they'll put that money and that take it back to their own country, such as this USA. See, tech giants shift profits to tax havens, reducing revenues for countries like India. That is why we are trying to get this global minimum alternate tax, right? Yes, we'll see that when the time comes appropriate. Difficulty in regulation. Laws struggle to govern cyberspace due to its borderless nature. That is one key point here. And network effect. Once dominant, platform block users in blocking local competition. Let's just take, we have Instagram. What happened Instagram? It has got into the roots of every Indian as of now. But if we are trying to bring out our own app from India, it's not that possible because we are already hooked to that, and the platform locked its users in with all the features or monetary gains or anything like that. that is this network effect. So what are the measures to tackle digital colonialism? In India we have this certain regulations, and in other nations we have some other regulations. We'll try to see this as a whole. So measures to tackle digital colonialism in India, we have this DPDP Act, that is this Personal Data Protection Act, and the Competition Act 2002. It prevents unfair trade and protects consumers. Global advocacy, push for data localization, sovereignty at G20, BRICS and WTO. All these things, India was very vocal in getting this data localization. It means that we need to store the data in India first. That data servers has to be placed in India first, and India also led this G20 DPI task force. DPI is nothing but digital public infrastructure task force. It is led by India only, and other efforts by India is this ONDC, Open Network for Digital Commerce, for e-commerce alternatives. So what are these alternative to Amazon and all such? We have this Open Network for Digital Commerce. This is entirely another topic that we can deal later. So India Stack as National Digital Public Infrastructure. We have this India Stack as a recent current affairs. And in other nations, what are the measures that we have? European Union has this GDPR, Data Act and Governance Act, AI Act for digital autonomy. Out of all these things, GDPR has been in news for a long time. Even in previous prelims also we have been asked this question. GDPR is nothing but General Data Protection Rules. European Union has come up with that. And in China, Digital Silk Road under BRI to expand telecom, AI, cloud and surveillance. Okay. And Russia, Sovereign Internet Law 2019 for centralized internet control. These are the measures in other countries. And what are the way forward? This way forward, it's not so complicated. What are the problems that we have come across here, the key issues? If you find out solution to that will be the way forward. You can do that on your own. It's not so tough. Yeah, and the conclusion part, I like this term here. There is a high chance that that might be asked in your mock tests or actual UPSC prelims questions. So digital colonialism fragments the internet into geopolitical blocks. That blocks are called as the splinternet. That part you need to understand. Rest everything, whatever given in this topic is sufficient, more than sufficient. And the next topic is online content regulation. It means that in online, this content needs to be regulated. That is the topic is all about. But why is it in news? Because Ministry of Information and Broadcast has banned several OTT platforms for streaming obscene content. See, this online content has to be regulated. Why? Because some of the content is obscene. See, obscenity. Right. This obscene content are banned under IT Act 2000 and IT Rules 2021. We'll see that later here. But in Ranjit Udeshi, State of Maharashtra, 1965, Supreme Court held obscenity as a valid restriction on free speech, Article 19. So it does not infringe your fundamental right. If the content is obscene, it can be struck down. Okay, that's what upheld in this Ranjit Udeshi, State of Maharashtra, 1965 case. Please remember these cases, Supreme Court cases, and use it in your GS2 answers. That will be really helpful in gaining an edge. So what are the need for content regulation? That also don't look at this here. You come up with your own. So first of all, what I do is that content has to be regulated. What is the need to regulate the content? There might be some social constraint. There might be some political constraint. There might be ethical constraint. Okay. See, what are the social constraint you can have? If the content is not regulated, it might lead to incitement of violence. It might lead to undue influence. It might lead to political issues, like laws will be there, loopholes can be used, that can be adjusted. And what are the ethical concerns? Values and culture. Culture must not be distorted with the content. Values must be preserved with the content, right? Content, that thing. So these are the things that I have come up with. But if you look at what they have given, we'll see that. We'll try to take whatever the best one from everything that we can come across, and we have to make a notes out of it. And what is the societal reach? 950 million internet users are there. Remember this and use it whenever is required. Unregulated content influences society. And violence. 2010 study shows that 90% of pornography shows aggression. That is why it needs to be regulated. Protecting vulnerable children, women and minorities. Early exposure distorts healthy views. Women objectification, inequality, minorities hate speech. All these things are required here. Ethical imperative. You see, degrading material harm norms, families and society. Example, this Bully Buy app 2021. In that app, what was happened? There used to be women pictures in that app, and other people, users used to rate them. That's objectifying, right? That's not so good. That's not at all good. Yeah, that is this one other issue, and it's the need for this content regulation. And philosophical basis is one other thing. So here we can also write philosophical angle, right? In that philosophical angle, we have these two things, which is very good. You can use it in your GS4. Mills-Harm principle. This means Mills-Harm is nothing but like this John Mill. Mills-Harm principle says that freedom, a person can have as much freedom as he can, but there must be a limit. If he is trying to harm other person, that freedom must be limited. That is this Mills-Harm principle. And Kant's imperative, Immanuel Kant's imperative, he says that people are not objects. Okay, so objectification is completely wrong. People are not means to end. Like to gain an end, you should not use people as the means. That is what this Kant's imperative is all about. So these two will be at jeopardy when this content is not regulated. That is why that thing has to be kept in your mind, especially while writing your ethics case studies. And unequal impact. Low income, low literacy groups are most exposed to this obscene content because they don't know that. They don't have any legal implications about all those things, right? So these low income, low literacy groups are most exposed to this unequal obscene content, and that is information is given by Indian Policy Foundation. So whenever you write a data point, try to give the source of it, who has given that report, who has given that research. That is must to have an edge in your answer. And what are the regulatory frameworks for regulation of obscene content? So IT Act 2000 is there. We have subsections here. And IT Rules 2021, BNS 2023, Section 294 is there. POXO Act is there. Indecent Representation of Women in Women Act 1986 is there. Out of this IT Act 2000, if you see Section 67, 67A, publishing obscene content online. 69A, government power to block content. 79, safe harbor for intermediaries. Lost if unlawful content is not removed. Okay, it will give the safe harbor for intermediaries. Intermediaries are nothing but this social media platforms only. Like for example, Instagram, that will be an intermediary. Okay. And what are the challenges in regulating content? See, I also try to come up with my own challenges in regulating this content. What can be the challenge? No supervision is there. VPN is a problem. Source identification is a little bit difficult. Ethics committee, there is no ethics committee, and a timeline must be mentioned here. And so what they have done is that here they have subclassified all these things into two parts or threes, if you can see here: regulatory challenges, technological challenges, and the last one is creative freedom. It's always better to subclassify everything so that it will look so structured. Your answer will look so structured. It gives so much of clarity to the evaluator that you know something. So yeah, regulatory challenges, regulatory overlap is there. It means that multiple ministries will be overlooking at that particular part. So that will create a conflict, right? Overlap will be there. For example, here MeitY will take over this IT rules, and Ministry of Information and Broadcasting take over this content rule regulation. So there is a conflict or overlap is there. And also subjectivity is another part. See, different interpretation of obscenity leading to arbitrary government action. Who can say this one is obscene and this one is not so obscene? So there is no borderline demarcation, right? Because obscenity is itself is a subjective matter, so that is creates a problem. And what are the technological challenges? Encryption, algorithms, and VPN I tried here, yeah, but they have given some other points also. Encryption is one point, algorithm is one point, and VPNs is another point. And creative freedom. If we ban this creativity, what will happen? It infringes Article 19(1)(a), expression, speech and expression. And what will happen? It will hinders this creative freedom. So for that example is ban on fire movie. It's about homosexuality. Please remember this. I hope I also can remember that and use it in my answers, right? And by the way, I've attempted UPSC Mains 2022, 2023, and also State PSC 2023 and 2025. I've attempted mains, 4 mains in total. Yeah. And way ahead, please go through that. It's not so complicated there. Now, the next topic is National Cooperative Policy 2025. Why is it in news? It's about Cooperative Policy 2025. Ministry of Cooperatives launched the National Cooperative Policy 2025. So, what are the features? First was given in 2002. Now we have the second one policy came out in 2025. What is the vision? Cooperatives as key to Viksit Bharat 2047 under Shakhar se Samriddhi. Remember this and put it in your conclusions. And what are the objectives? Active participation of 50 crore people currently outside or inactive. So we need to bring those active participation in the cooperative sector. And it has got 6 strategic pillars here. See, foundational institution, vibration, innovancy, all these things you don't need to remember all these pillars. But there are some other key features of policies. Here we need to focus on certain policies here. See, they're trying to reduce cooperative taxes and extend cooperative incentives, and also model cooperative village in each state or union territory. And we are focusing more on clean energy, waste and technology. And also, what are the targets? Triple GDP share by 2034, 30% more societies. So this part you can put in your introduction or conclusion. It will look really beautiful. And yeah, cooperatives in India. What is the origin? Cooperative Credit Societies Act 1904 during the period of Lord Curzon. And what is the definition of it? Autonomous voluntary association, jointly owned, democratically controlled, meeting economic, social and cultural needs. It's a really beautiful definition. Try to write it somewhere and use it. What is the status here? We have got 8 lakh societies, 2 lakh credit societies and 6 lakh non-credit societies, and more than 30 crore members are linked with cooperatives. So what is the target here? 50 crore people currently outside or inactive. We want this active participation. And now constitutional status. 97th Amendment 2011 and Article 19(1)(c) includes cooperatives, and Directive Principles 43B and Part 9B. Article 243 ZH2, 243 ZT for governance. What are the governance structure? Please remember, multi-state cooperatives is there, it comes under this union list. State cooperatives is there, it comes under the state list, governed by respective acts. Okay, so that is why this 97th Constitutional Amendment Bill has been partially struck down, because state cooperatives actually state list, but they have made it a central thing, right? So that is why it was struck down. Only multi-state cooperatives were upheld in this 97th Amendment Act, because it comes under this union one. Next, significance of cooperatives. You try to come up without reading this. Significance of cooperatives: social, political, economic, cultural, environment. I was able to come up with all these things. If we have cooperatives, what will have? Uplifting of the poor, federalism can be upheld like multi-state cooperatives, economical, small farmers can come together, land fragmentation issue can be addressed, profit maximization can be done. Cultural thing, we can uphold this traditional knowledge. Traditional knowledge can be put into this profit motive while more people come together and do this, cooperatives, right? Environment, we can have the sustainable living and also mission life, it will aid to that. All these things have come up, and you try to see here significance of cooperatives. Almost similar things only will be there. Rural upliftment, 1/3 of rural population linked, boosting farmers income, pooling, bargaining power. Amul you can quote. Pooling is nothing but this land pooling. You can people come together, and their resources can come together, and they can hire heavy machinery as well at better costs. Societal impact, women empowerment, Seva, bank for microfinance, jobs and equality, sustainability. For green practices, we have these cooperatives from Kerala, ULCCS for green practices. Community ties, it will build social capital. It's a really good point. And values, equality, leadership is there. Why equality? In cooperatives, one person will have one vote. And leadership, it is democratic election develops leaders. And challenges, what are the challenges for cooperatives? Limited capacity, political intervention, regulatory complexity, digital gap is there, regional imbalance is there, skilled workforce shortage is there. This is a democratic dividend issue, right? If you see this digital gap, only 45% of members familiar with the digital tools. And also regional imbalance, top 5 states hold 57% of cooperatives, such as Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, all these states, all these 5 states hold 57% of cooperatives. Okay. And what is the conclusion for this development of cooperatives? We can have this transparency via CGI and RTI. RTI, you all know what is the CGI? Cooperative Governance Index. Okay, that you can come up and put it in your conclusion. That's about cooperatives. And the next topic is PRI Finances. You see, the Standing Committee on Rural Development and Panchayat Raj reported on fund devolution under Panchayat Raj systems. See, it focused on financial issues faced by PRIs, highlighting weak transfer of 3 Fs. What are these 3 Fs? Funds, functions, and functionaries. Okay, functionaries are the people, funds are the money, and functions are the things that you have to get it done. All these things were facing problems because of weak transfer. And what are the sources of revenue for Panchayat Raj institutions? Tax and grants, own tax collections are there, duties, tolls under 243H. Remember this 243H. Funds for executing centrally sponsored schemes. What are the issues of the finance of PRI? What are the issues? Declining allocations, tied versus untied grants, election delays, weak functioning of district planning committee, irregular state finance commission, poor GPDP uploads, Gram Panchayat development plans, low own revenue. All these are the problems. So let us see here. Declining allocations. Nowadays budgets reduced PRI funds. So that is one problem. Tied versus untied grants. 15th Finance Commission have 60% tied, 40% untied funds, leading to underutilization. So election delays. See, for example, in Telangana, what happened because of this OBC quota issue, selection has been delayed. What will happen? It will stall the progress of panchayats, right? So that is this, stalls the fund use. And weak functioning of district planning committee. It leads to fragmented planning, underuse of funds. Irregular state finance commission. See, we have the central finance commission constituted every 5 years or if, as desired by the president. But in this state finance commission, it's very irregular. Only 9 states have 6th state finance commission, and it delays the devolution. That is the problem. So only 9 states have 6th state finance commission. Poor GPDP uploads. Low compliance on Gram Swaraj delays 15th finance commission grants because they are tied grants, right? Yeah. Low own revenue. Panchayat's own source of revenue is only 1.1%. That weaks the autonomy. If they don't have money, they don't have the autonomy. If I remember correctly, in Brazil, it's more than that. Own source around accounts to around 40% or so. We have, it's very less, 1.1%. Importance of finances for PRI. You don't need to read that, right? If we are given finances, what you will do? If you are a responsible person, you will develop your own personality, you will develop your lifestyle, you will develop your health or education qualification and everything, right? That is what the importance of finance for PRI also. Health, education, women empowerment, SDG goals, achievement, agriculture, rural development, all this can be done if you are given certain finance. So what are the initiatives to improve finance of PRIs? Audit online. For digital audits of panchayats account, Audit has to be done online. OSR augmentation. OSR is nothing but own source revenue. For that, Swamitva for property tax. This Swamitva app for this satellite-based imaging of the land can be done, and for that, by using that, we can get this property tax. Mineral fund sharing can be done. Ranking system basis for performance grants, and e-gram swaraj. Upload GPDPs for accountability and transparency. All these things can be done. And recommendations given in the report. See, everything what we have read in the challenges, same thing will reflect here as a solution. So yeah, that you can go through. And the next topic is interstate water dispute. Why in the news? The Ravi BS Water Tribunal 1986 got a 1-year extension to settle sharing between Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. Okay, that's in news, but we'll see more in news as well here. Center to form a technical committee on Polavaram Banakacharla link project, that is in Andhra Pradesh. See, we have this Polavaram, and that Polavaram is going to be extended here, Banakacharla, so that more and more water can be given to that drought prone this Rayalaseema region. If you look at the map of Andhra, that Rayalaseema, you come to understand it's the southern part of Andhra Pradesh. And Telangana Andhra water issue is there. This is Telangana, and water issue will also be addressed here. And Odisha and Chhattisgarh has agreed to resolve this Mahanadi dispute amicably. Interstate dispute traced back to colonial era. That's not the new one. Even when Madras Presidency and Mysore was there, Kaveri conflict was already there. What are the reasons for interstate water dispute? There are other reasons that you can come up with, like here, like we have done earlier. See, geographical impact, political, social, economical and environmental impacts are there for interstate water dispute. For example, if you take the geography, not every state has got its resources equally, and they do not share it equally as well. And politically, different political parties have got their own aspirations. And societal, water access to poor. Not everybody can get the water access, right? The afford water, that is another issue. And economical, so water is useful for agriculture purpose and also industries. And environmental, if one state stops the flow of water and suddenly release the dam gates, what will happen? Flood will happen. And also, if one state constructs a dam without any proper scientific backing, a drought might occur in the lower riparian states. These are all the reasons that I have come up with, and you can also come up with your own reasons. And what are the reasons that given here? More or less similar only. One is this asymmetric access, as we have said. Geography, upper riparian states enjoy advantage, and the state reorganization, boundaries drawn without river basin focus, and increasing demand. Growth in population, farming, urbanization and economy will always leads to the demand for more and more water. And development projects such as these dams and projects trigger disputes. Fragmented governance. Union, state, unscientific and data gaps. As I said, unscientific. So these are the fragmented governance problems. We have this in water disputes. And legal and constitutional framework, what we have, Article 262 to 1 and Article 262 Clause 2. Excuse me. Sorry for the disturbance. There has been a little interruption. Yeah. Legal and constitutional framework. 262 Clause 1, 262 Clause 2. Parliament can provide laws for dispute adjudication. Parliament. Courts barred from jurisdiction if Parliament so provide. Okay, please remember that. It's very crucial. So Parliament can only provide laws for dispute adjudication. Courts barred from jurisdiction if Parliament so provides. Remember it. Laws under Article 262. River Boards Act 1956. Interstate River Water Disputes 1956. 7th schedule. We have this union list and state list, entry 56 and 17. In union list, entry 56 states that regulation of interstate rivers. State list, entry 17, water use, irrigation, etc. it is subject to entry 56 because union list is superior. What are the challenges in resolving? Challenges in resolving interstate water dispute. We have delays. Sorry for that problem again. Yeah. Challenges in resolving interstate water disputes. We have delays, politicization, lack of participation, and Supreme Court intervention. We'll see that. What are the challenges in resolving interstate water disputes? Delays in tribunal formation, award delivery, notification enforcement. These are very chronologically placed here. See, for example, first of all, if problem raised, tribunal formation itself takes a lot of time. After that, the tribunal will award something, and that award delivery will take some other time. And after the award is given, that respective states will not put it in their gazette. So all these things are chronologically placed here. See, for example, Kaveri Tribunal set up in 1990 after decades, and Narmada took 9 years for this award delivery. For this Krishna River disputes, it took 4 years, and for Godavari 10 years. Even after this time period for the award delivery, the respective governments will delay in gazette publication. For example, Krishna water dispute, it took 3 years for the gazette publication, and for Godavari it took 1 year. That will create all the problems, right? And ISRWD Act 1956 tribunal award published is equal to Supreme Court's decree. And the other problem here is that politicization, disputes handled politically, ignoring social environmental aspects. Lack of participation. Local communities, states and stakeholders are often excluded. See, and the last one of very interesting point, Supreme Court intervention. So as we already discussed in the previous slides that Supreme Court does not adjudicate as per this 262 article clause 2, but Supreme Court interprets tribunal awards. It will obviously create delays. For example, Kaveri 2007 final Supreme Court verdict later came with the modification. It will delay the justice. Other measures taken to resolve interstate water dispute. Interstate Water Dispute Amendment Bill 2019 we have, Draft River Basin Management Bill 2018 we have, and National River Linking Project. See, this Amendment Bill 2019 creates Dispute Resolution Committee, establishes single tribunal with multiple benches, and time-bound awards and Central River Basin Data Bank. These are all the points that are mentioned in this bill. It's just a bill, not an act. Keep that in mind. And Draft River Management Bill 2018. All these things you can put in your measures. Yeah, equity, cooperation, basin-based management, river basin master plan and authority, National River Linking Project, surplus to deficit water transfer to reduce disputes. This is a really beautiful solution here. Okay, and I hope you can go through this way forward. Way forward, you can also come up with your own. I did not find so much unique about all these things. And the next topic is cost of politics in India. Why in news? Because Observers Research Foundation, supported by Westminster Foundation for Democracy, conducted a case study on India's cost of politics, analyzing spending by electoral candidates. Okay, that is why it is in news, and major findings of the study, we'll see that very quickly because it's not so much important from exam point of view. Yeah, major findings is that Lok Sabha candidates spend 5 to 10 crores higher in rich competitive states like Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, like that. And social media spendings, funds for experts, influencer ads cheaper than rallies and logistics, that is one thing. Next, funding sources, we'll see this. Primary source is that personal wealth, family or friends. Other is that loans, assets, crowdfunding and business groups. But of all these things, I personally like this part much. Parties expect self-funding, thus favors wealthy dynasties. Dynastics exclude marginalized. So generally parties, they tend to go for this self-funding candidates. That comes from wealthy people only, right? So it will exclude marginalized to participate in the election process. Implications of high cost of election, what is that? If the money is invested by the candidate, he has to get it back. how he can get it back if he is given only 1.5 lakh salary per month as an MP or an MLA, or I don't know how much exactly, but how can he get all the 10 crores or even unofficially maybe 100 crores to get back into his pocket? So obviously business political nexus will be there, fundraising priority, and corruption risk is there. And even in this Transparency International 2024 corruption index, India is ranked 96. Yeah, it will impact democratic integrity. Why? Because why would people trust this democracy, right? Erosion of trust will be there. Power capture, people will try to grab that power, and barrier for underprivileged, they cannot come and contest in the elections. All these are the problems. But let us look at the way forward here. It's really nice. Spending limits, strengthening ECI oversight, judicial support, enforce caps, limits. That is by following this UK model. And also, whenever there is a donation to a political party, more and more transparency must be there, as we have seen in this US. So we need to follow this US model as well. So that's about that part. And the next topic is lowering of age for voting. This is really interesting. See, several countries such as this Germany, Austria, Malta, Estonia, Argentina, Nicaragua have lowered their voting age from 18 to 16 years. So now India is also trying to bring that down to 16 years. I'm not saying government of India, but a proposal has been put in place. So United Kingdom announced plan to reduce voting age from 18 to 16. But in India, what is the context here? Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 proposed reducing age from 18 to 17 under Article 326. But it was a private member bill. Okay. So it's better you also understand what is a private member bill and at what time they can introduce it in the parliament, and who can introduce, a Lok Sabha member or a Rajya Sabha member or both. That you find out, please, or you can comment it in the video itself. We'll see. Constitutional provisions related to voting age in India. Article 326. What is this Article 326? It will grant the universal suffrage. Voting age lowered from 21 to 18 by 61st Amendment 1988. Remember, very crucial. Right to vote is statutory, changeable by ordinary law. Okay, it's not a constitutional, it's a statutory. Arguments in favor of lowering age of voting, arguments in against of lowering age of voting. We'll see here. So what will happen if we lower the age of voting, and what are the benefits of it? Cognitive maturity, intergenerational equity, broader manifestos, youth engagement. Cognitive maturity, what it says is that many are of this opinion that 16-year-olds can make independent political choices. Intergenerational equity, exclusion of under 18 favors older voters and limits future oriented polities, obviously. And it means that if we exclude under 18, the policies mostly focus on the future people, on the older voters who are older than 18. So 16, 17 age, their policies are not so much focused. That's what they are trying to say here. Broader manifestos would add focus on education, child rights, gender justice, obviously, because they have got this voting right. Youth engagement will also be there. That is arguments in favor, but arguments in against. Some say that they have this lack of maturity, lack knowledge, making them vulnerable to manipulation. And also, at the time of 16 and 17, what you will do, you'll be, going after a girl or like that, right? Or if you are a girl, you will be, fantasizing or like infatuation. All these things goes on. But there are certain section of the people in that age bracket as well. We are very vocal and very political, and that's what is needed now. Okay. Yeah. And also, see, for example, in Andhra state or in also Tamil Nadu state, we have got this movie stars coming into politics. So what is the what happens is that in their campaign, these people who are very adolescents, they tend to get influenced by those movie actors. Instead of understanding the actual agenda or actual reason behind their motives, they tend to get manipulated, right? So that's a problem is also there. Okay, we need to touch every dimension of every aspect. That's what a bureaucrat must be thorough about. Okay, I said 16, 17 age bracket will be mostly tend towards this infatuation. That's one dimension. And some other people are very vocal and political about this situation of India. That's also one dimension. Another dimension is that people who are vocal, some of them might tend to get influenced by the other factors like movie stars coming to politics and such like that. We need to touch every aspect in that problem. And low turnout. See, in 2024, less than 40% of 18 to 19-year-old age bracket voted. Really good point. Use it in your answers. Age threshold clash. So it might trigger calls to reduce other legal age limits. Like a domino effect. Logistical burden. So registering 16, 17-year-olds adds costs and administrative challenges. That's another issue. So conclusion, must use evidence and involve adolescents. But more and more awareness must be created. All these things, generic things you can write. And come to this news in short. Disruption in Parliament. In the 17th Lok Sabha, sittings were 88% in Lok Sabha, 73% in Rajya Sabha. In 1950s, Parliament met 120 to 140 days yearly. Now only 60 to 70 days. It means that their focus has been getting reduced. What are the reasons for this disruption? Opposition parties use it to gain greater publicity and visibility in the public. That is one reason. Anti-defection problem is there because MPs has to follow the party whips. If they have to follow the party whips, what's the point of coming to the parliament and participating in the debates? They already know what they have to do because they have to follow the orders of the party itself. Okay. And disruptions arise from controversial national and regional issues dominating the public attention. And increase in political parties means less debate time and more disruptions over unlisted issues. That is another issue. See, I'm not explaining each and every point here. Whenever I feel the explanation is needed, I'm giving, because rest everything are very self-explanatory. I'm trying to save my time and your time as well. And issues with parliamentary disruptions. Weak accountability will be there, high cost and eroding trust. Here, high cost is the thing that you can use. Running parliament costs 2.5 lakh per minute. So much, so high. 2.5 lakh per minute. Okay. So that is why parliamentary disruptions must be reduced. And it will also erode the trust, obviously. And measures that can be adopted to address parliamentary disruption. Dedicated opposition time. You see, in UK, they used to have, maybe 20 days, I think, if I remember exactly. 20 days will be given for this opposition to set the agenda, right? That is this dedicated opposition time. So what will happen? Their frustration can be vented out. They have got their own time to mouth all the problems. So there is a less chance for disruptions to come up. And stronger ethics committee. Monitor and report the disruptions. Obviously, self-regulation is the best regulation. Annual calendar. Fix yearly settings with the limited flexibility. That is also followed in UK, I think. UK and US also. Annual calendar will be there. Right. And next one is removal of judges in higher judiciary. See, what to do? Yeah, removal of judges in higher judiciary. How to remove judges in higher judiciary? That we'll see first, the process, and then we'll go to the other things. How to remove a judge, either Supreme Court judge or a High Court judge. You see, the initiation, motion with 100 Lok Sabha or 50 Rajya Sabha members submitted to Speaker or Chairman. After that motion is submitted, a committee formation and investigation must be done. In that committee, we have these 3 members, Supreme Court judge, High Court Chief Justice and jurist will be there. They will investigate, and if judge is found guilty of misbehavior or incapacity, the House will consider the motion. Then it will consider the motion. After that, parliamentary approval is done. Motion is passed by both houses with a special majority. Both houses with special majority. What kind of majority is that? Total membership majority plus 2/3 of present and voting. Okay, TMM plus 2/3 PV. Total majority membership plus 2/3 present and voting. That is a criteria here. And after that, it is sent to the president. And in the same session, president will issue the removal order. This is a process for removing a judge, be it High Court or a Supreme Court judge. And there is no mention of the word impeachment for removal of judges in the Constitution. And now let us see the constitutional provisions regarding removal of judges. We have got this article 124, 217, we'll see that specifically. Article 240, 124, Clause 4, removal of Supreme Court judges on proven misbehavior or incapacity. These two also you need to remember. And who will regulate that? Parliament regulates procedure. So in order, in that provision only, what we have got, Judges Inquiry Act 1968. In that only we have got this procedure that we have read here, Judges Inquiry Act 1968. After that, Article 124, we have to remember Article 217. High Court judge removed by President in the same manner as Supreme Court judge under Article 124, Clause 4. So who will remove Supreme Court judge and High Court judge? President only. Article 218. It extends 124, Clause 5 provisions to High Court as well. And what happened here? The issue, 145 Lok Sabha MP signed a motion against Justice Yashwant Verma under Article 124, 217 and 218. Now you understand what the problem is, right? Rajya Sabha chairman also received a motion signed by 150 plus members. Next, you see the problem, my name is Yashwant as well, but that's okay. Yeah, we also had very great finance minister Yashwant Sinha. Next, National Standards for Civil Services Training Institute. We almost come to the last of this session, and we'll beautifully see the MCQs, true or false, and mains answers. We'll try to solve that as well. Recently, NSC STI 2.0 framework was launched by Ministry of State for Personal Public Grievance and Pensions. What is this? It has got eight pillars of excellence. You don't need to remember all those things, but you need to remember that all these things are for civil services training only. That thing you remember, that's good enough. What about this National Standards for Civil Services Training Institute? It is developed by Capacity Building Committee under Mission Karma Yogi only. Under this Karma Yogi, we have got this standards. And future ready bureaucrats to do that, we got this. And it introduces hybrid and AI driven learning models, and it promotes adoption of best practices by bridging public private sectors. Okay, that's about this NSC STI 2.0. And the last one is Bill of Lading, Bill 2025. It has actually been passed, and that you will learn in the next month's magazine. And what about this Bill of Lading? Bill of Lading is a document from freight carrier to shipper. It will detail the goods type, quantity, condition and destination. We got this ship, right? It will carry all these containers. All these containers will carry all the goods, right? You know, in that document, there will be the mentioning of this goods type, quantity, condition and destination. All this will be mentioned in this bill. That is this Bill of Lading. In regulating that, Parliament has passed the Bills of Lading of Bill 2025. We'll see that later when the time comes. I mean to say, in the next magazine, a detailed bill will be there. Act. So these are all the quick facts. I think you can go through that. Whatever we have read, they have given a gist of it. You go through that, revise it, so you're good to go. Next, what are the activities? See the activities. Which of the following constitutional provisions lowered the voting age from 21 to 18 years? So every MCQs has been taken from that workbook itself. They have prepared it very thoroughly and beautifully. So pause this video and try to answer this question. You can comment that answer right away. Okay, which of the following constitutional provisions lowered the voting age from 21 to 18 years? 61st Amendment 1988. We have read that in the article itself. Which body prepares state of devolution report for Panchayat Raj institutions? Pause the video and try to answer. Yes, answer is Ministry of Panchayat Raj. Next question. With reference to interstate river water disputes in India, consider the following statements. Statement number 1. Article 262 of the Constitution empowers the Parliament to adjudicate interstate water disputes. Do you think it is right? We will see that. Supreme Court can directly adjudicate original disputes related to interstate rivers. Do you think it's right? We will see that. Interstate River Water Disputes Act 1956 provides for setting up of tribunals for adjudication of disputes. We will see that. Yeah, pause this video and try to answer this question. Yeah, first statement, Article 262 of the Constitution empowers the Parliament to adjudicate inter-water state disputes. Yes, it is correct. Supreme Court can directly adjudicate original disputes related to interstate rivers. Do you think it's directly adjudicates? No. Tribunal will be there. After that, it will adjudicate on the judgment given by the tribunal, right? So this statement is wrong. The third statement, Interstate River Water Disputes Act 1956 provide for setting up of tribunals for adjudication of disputes. That is correct. So 2 is wrong, and you are left with C, 1 and 3, and you have to pay attention here. Correct, not incorrect. So consider the following statements related to these cooperatives in India. 97th Constitutional Amendment inserted Article 43B under Directive Principles of State Policy. First statement. Part 9B of Constitution, Article 243 ZH to ZT deals with cooperative societies. Multi-state cooperative societies falls under the statelets of the Constitution. Pause this video and try to answer this question. As you can see here, statement 3, multi-state cooperatives falls under union list, not state list. So statement 3 is wrong. So this wrong, this wrong, this wrong. You will left with 1 and 2 only. So they asked the correct only. So, and the next part will be international relations, that will deal in some other video. And let us try to solve some true or false statements here. So 97th Amendment gave constitutional status to cooperatives. Pause it and try. So this is true. The next question, the right to vote in India is a fundamental right under Article 19(1)(a). Pause this video and try to answer. Yeah, right to vote in India is not a fundamental right, but it's a statutory right, so it is false. National standards, next question, National Standards for Civil Service Training Institute framework is a part of Mission Karma Yogi. Pause this video and try to answer. So answer is true, part of Mission Karma Yogi only. Yeah, and now come to this mains practice question. First question, digital colonialism poses a serious threat to India's sovereignty. Discuss with reference to recent government measures. Do you think you can write this answer? Absolutely you can, because we have already read about digital colonialism, how it is a serious threat to Indian sovereignty. We have discussed. You can remember Google, that their monopoly, and also they are having this authority over the apps, app store. All these things, if you can remember, all that things you can put in place in this answer. Discuss with reference to recent government measures. What are the government measures we have? DPDP Act, I told you. Competition Act, I told you, 2002. All these things you can write. You can beautifully write your mains answer here. Yeah, and fine, I can correct your answers and also send it back to you. Just comment it below in the video, and I can look at your answers, and we'll see that. I'll be looking at your comments, and I'll tell you how to send your answers. And the next question, lowering of voting age can strengthen democracy but may possess challenges of maturity and logistics. Can you answer this? See, lowering of age, how can you start this answer? Germany or Norway, all these countries have already reduced this lowering age, and also UK is trying to reduce its lowering age to 16. And now in India we have this private member bill which was introduced in 2020 to reduce the voting age to 17. All these things you can mention in that. By mentioning it here, they are saying that it may possess challenges. So what are the challenges? You understand the challenges, right? Arguments for and arguments and against, that you can put in place here, and you can discuss this. Okay, that is how you can approach this mains questions. Okay, you can submit your answers. You just comment that you want to get it evaluated, and I'll tell you how you can approach me. Then we can do that. Yeah, I think I brought some useful information to you through this video. Yeah, see you in the next video. Thank you.